How to pray for people. Hello, I'm Malcolm Cox and welcome to Quiet Time Coaching episode 50. And today, how to pray for people. This is prompted by a question I was asked by my friend Marianne, who asked me about how do we pray for people without it becoming just a rote duty. That's a very good question. So I'm reminded of this passage in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 11. Paul says, with this in mind, we constantly pray for you, that our God may make you worthy of his calling. There's Paul saying he's constantly praying for people. I don't suppose he means literally every waking moment, but there's something he's trying to convey to the Thessalonians that he's got them on his heart, and when they come to mind, of course he prays for them, and he prays for them consistently, I think is the point. So how do we do that without it becoming just a boring thing that's something we feel even burdened by? Well, I've got 3 suggestions, and then I'd love to know what you think. So firstly, I think the first thing is to remember that having, say, a list of people to pray for is meant to be a prompt. So it's a prompt. It's not something that's meant to lock us into some kind of duty. It's just meant to be a prompt. We've promised to pray for people, therefore we need a prompt. And so therefore I have them written in my diary if people have asked me to pray for them, or if I've asked them if there's something I can pray about, or I've heard an announcement about a prayer need. I'll pop it into my phone and into my prayer app on my phone. So I obviously have this with me pretty much all the time, and I have an app in here, prayer app, Prayer Partner I think it's called. In fact, I'm just going to look it up now so I tell you the truth about that and don't get my wires crossed. It's called Pocket Prayer. That's right. I think Prayer Partner was what I had before. So Pocket Prayer, which looks like this on screen, is what I use to put the prayer requests in, and then I put in my diary Saturday morning to review that list. And so you might want to put that in your diary every Saturday morning. I think for me it's 8:30 in the morning. So I sit there and I review it and I pray through it. So I know I've prayed through it at least once a week. It's a prompt to me. It helps me to keep my promises to people. Obviously, if I've promised I will pray, I want to make sure I do that. But then it's in my diary and it's a prompt, and it helps me to do that. And sometimes, of course, the prayer needs have changed, and sometimes prayers have been answered. And then I can just swipe here on my prayer app to say they've been answered, and that's wonderful. I got a list of answered prayers. So the first thing is to remember that it's meant to be a prompt more than anything else. The second thing is to do this. So when I have my list open on my phone and I have someone's name there, I'll pray for that person, but I'll pause before I pray for them. So I pause so that I'm thinking about that person, and then I pray for them, and then I pause before I pray for the next person. That's if I'm praying through my list, which is something I do every Saturday, and sometimes more often than that, but at least every Saturday. So I pause, pray, pause, pray, pause. And in that way, I'm thinking about each person individually, and they're not just a name on the list. And so I think that helps tremendously. And secondly, connected with that is to picture the person in your mind. So when I pray for Barry, I have Barry's face in my mind, or if it's a situation that Barry's involved in, I try to bring that situation to mind. If I'm praying for my friend Charles in Accra, he's asked me to pray for some things, then I have Charles in my mind, Charlie in my mind when I pray for him. So I pause, picture, and then pray. Then pause, then picture, and then pray. Why not try that the next time you want to pray through a list of praying for people? And I think you'll find in that way it prevents it becoming just some kind of pray for this person, this person, this person, and it goes through your mind, but it doesn't touch your heart, which is not really the point, is it? So we wanted to touch the heart. So 3 things here. Remember that it's meant to be a prompt. Secondly, pause before each prayer. And thirdly, picture the person when you pray for them. What do you think about that? I would love to know your thoughts. So please, could you leave a comment in the comment box below where you're watching this video? That would help, because we can learn from each other that way. And we learn best when we learn in community. If you know someone who would like this, could benefit from this, then please pass the link on to that person. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'd love to know your questions and your thoughts. So, by the way, do you have any other questions about prayer, about Bible study, about spiritual disciplines that you would like to have answered? I'm glad to be able to do this episode because of the question that Marianne asked me. If you have a question, please do send it to me. Either put it in the comment box, or you can send it to me at mccx@mac.com. That's mccx@mac.com, or you can contact me via my website, malcolmcox.org. Thanks a lot, and I do hope this day and this week and every time that when you get together with God for some time of quiet, that you'll find it to be an enriching, inspiring, and intimate experience in the way that God has designed us to fellowship with him. Take care and God bless.